You give and you give and you give. It's just never enough.
Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about the movie Mother, and this one might go up before my It review, and I apologize. It's just I cannot stop thinking about this movie, and I feel like I need to, and the reason why I can't is because I haven't done the review, and I really need to get it out of my head here, and I'm actually really nervous to do this video because of how much the movie affected me. It was one of those films, man, that's just, it's gonna stick with me probably forever. And that sounds really dramatic, but full drama intended, because this movie, man, oh my gosh. It is one of those movies where it's marketed as something else than it is, so bear that in mind when you go to see it. I didn't really know anything about it. I didn't understand what the trailer was trying to say the storyline was. It's a lot of movie. It did get an F in Cinema Score, which is the lowest rating you can get, and only 19 films in the history of films have ever gotten an F rating, including Mother. So that tells you how the audience recepted it and how people in society recepted it. I believe it has like 69% on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. From the critic's standpoint, so like I understand the critic's standpoint, but I really also understand the general public standpoint. I'm gonna give you guys a little brief synopsis of what the movie's actually about instead of what the trailer shows, and I'm not gonna give any spoilers right now, but we will get into that later because I just need to talk about this movie like it as a whole. So basically there's a husband and a wife, and they live on this property, they live in this house, and she's kind of rebuilt it for him because it burnt in a fire. And then one day they get a knock on the door, and there's a doctor who needs a place to stay for the night. The next day his wife shows up, or a day or two later his wife shows up, and it just escalates from there. At first you're kind of suspicious about these people, like who are they? The husband is a writer and he hasn't written in a really long time, so there's a lot of pressure on him. Jennifer Lawrence obviously plays his wife, and you know, there's a bit of an age gap there. And then you kind of see in the trailer, the woman is like, well, do you want kids? Oh, you do want kids. It must be him that doesn't want kids. So let me just say this. If you suffer from anxiety, any kind of anxiety disorder, PTSD, anything, literally any anxiety disorder, don't watch this movie unless you're at home, because the theater experience amplified it so much to where I was so overstimulated and so anxious the whole time. It was like miserable. Granted, I was in awe of the fact of how much this movie was affecting me in the moment. I kept looking at my boyfriend with like my eyes like this. I was like, as an introvert and someone who has anxiety, this is not my kind of movie. I mean, I give it props, granted, for how effective and emotional this movie is. That to me was fantastic, but because I suffer from anxiety and, you know, I am an introvert, this is my nightmare of a movie. So anyway, the rest of the video I'm going to kind of talk about some spoilers and give away a little snippet that I'm going to talk about it right now that might, not like right now, but I'm going to talk about it first in the spoilers because it might be a spoiler for you, but honestly, if I knew it going in, I would have liked it more, I think. Overall, it was so well done, but because of how stressful it was and didn't really make sense, and I felt like the director was reaching, especially when I found out what it was about after the fact, I realized, and like I read interviews with the director, and it just, some things didn't make sense, so I liked it less because of that. But I don't know. This is just a big I don't know. It took me this long to review it, not only because I'm lazy, but because I couldn't talk about it for a while, because it just got to me. Like, it got to me. This is definitely going in my updated top 10 most disturbing films I've ever seen, which is coming soon. There's gonna be a part 3 because there's a bunch that I haven't seen that I wanted to watch before doing that, just in case it was gonna go in that list. But I have like 7 or 8, so I think I'm just gonna do that video, and this will definitely be in it. But let's talk about what this movie is actually about, because marketing does not tell you. So I will be talking about spoilers right now, so if you don't want to know, want to go in blind kind of like I did, then, you know, even if you watch the trailer, you're going in blind. Trust me, that is nothing compared to what the movie is. Basically, this movie is very symbolic. Okay, so the house represents Earth, and everyone in it is how we treat Earth, okay? That to me is kind of a stretch, but I get it. And then the main storyline is basically the Bible. It's a biblical story. We have Adam and Eve, so that is the doctor and his wife. We have Cain and Abel, which are two brothers that are in the film, who are brothers in real life as well. One is in Harry Potter, who fight, and one kills the other one, just like Cain and Abel. We have the birth of Jesus. I believe that was also religious. And at the end, it gets so bad, there's hundreds of people in her house. They're just destroying it. And that is what makes it so disturbing, because it's so gradual. It starts with the doctor and his wife, then the two sons come, then one dies in the house, and then some more people come for the funeral. He decides to have the funeral there, and it's so gradual. Just people keep coming in. Then he becomes famous. They have a quiet time because she's pregnant. She gets pregnant. They have a quiet time, and then he becomes famous because he wrote a poem. So then all his fans and groupies come to his house, which that sounds like reality right now. So they come to his house, and she is like about to give birth. She's not in labor, but she's like, can you make them leave? Like, we're about to have dinner. They somehow get in the house, like one like a child needs to pee, so she's like, all right, come here, like, you use our bathroom. And then there's already someone in there, and then there's a line of people waiting for the bathroom. So it's just like, just gradually escalates and escalates. Eventually there's bombs going off, there's people like being chopped up. Like, for me, it went a little too far to make sense at all, because I had no idea what was going on towards the end. Apparently also when she gives birth and the husband is like, I want to show them my son, she sits in there for days with her son and is like, no, you're not holding him, because you're going to show them and they're going to freak out and they're going to hurt him. That's exactly what happens. He takes the child outside and everyone freaks out, starts passing him around, a newborn, and eventually his neck snaps. They start eating the child. They eat the baby. They eat the baby. And this is supposed to represent the obsession, I guess, of Jesus Christ. Are you with me? Like, do you get it? That was a big epiphany for me, honestly, because I didn't know what this movie was. Like, I didn't know what it was trying to be. Obviously, it was trying to be very different. That was clear, because there's no explanation for anything that's happening. It's just like, why are all these people in my house and they're destroying it? They're hurting people. Like, it was just weird. It's a weird movie. If you don't like weird movies, you're not gonna like this one. I think a lot of people don't like this one. I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, I'm still in shock and like in awe of this film, of how much of a reaction the public had gotten or gave towards it, I guess, and just the reaction it gave me. Like, I didn't think I would walk out of that theater traumatized, but I genuinely felt a little traumatized, not to be dramatic again, but I was a little traumatized. So traumatized that I went to see it a second time as I was walking past a theater showing Mother, and I heard Jennifer Lawrence screaming, and I just felt so uncomfortable all of a sudden, and it was horrible. Like, just her screaming alone made me think about what I was feeling in the theater when I saw it. I don't think you could pay me to watch this movie again, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, because obviously it was effective in affecting me. But does that make it a good movie if I'll never watch it again because it was so traumatizing? Like, I don't know. That's why I didn't want to do the review, because I'm like, I don't know what to give it, because obviously it was really well done, very stressful, very emotional for me. So in that sense it was good, but I hated the reaction. Like, I can't watch it. Like, I can't. But then again, I wouldn't say Serbian Film is a great film, because obviously it got to me. But does that make it a good movie? No. So it's just a lot. It's a lot to handle going into it. And I immediately tweeted, don't watch it if you have anxiety, because it's so stressful. I felt so uncomfortable the whole time. A lot of you have tweeted that it did the same thing for you. So let me know down below if you've seen it and you know what I'm talking about, because I still don't know how to feel about this movie, even though I like know how I felt about it. I don't know. This is just an I don't know movie, and this is an I don't know review. It's not even a review. I'm just telling you, warning you what you're getting into. So don't see it in theaters. I would say that for sure. I think even the average person might be a little stressed out watching this in theaters, watching everything happen. So maybe just wait to watch it at home, where it's a little bit, You can pause it if you need to. It's not as loud or as stimulating, because that was a huge part of why this film was so traumatic for me. So I am going to upload this before It, but it is coming, I promise. Obviously, go see it. Obviously, it's one of the best films I've ever seen, so you need to see it. Spoiler alert for me liking the film, absolutely. I've seen it twice. I would watch it a million times more in the theater. Kind of tempting, honestly, to do it again by myself. But yeah, go see it before my review. I'll do a full review later on, though, but you know, it's the highest grossing film at the box office ever. It sets the record. So that tells you it's pretty amazing. Anyway, beyond that, what did you think of Mother? Are you in the group that's like, I don't get it, it was horrible? Or are you in the stressed out group? Or are you in the, wow, I really liked it actually group? Or none. Or you just don't have an opinion, that's fine too, because I didn't know what my opinion was for the longest time. Still don't really know or understand my emotions about it. But yeah, you tell me yours down below. I hope this was enjoyable a little bit, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.